What's up, y'all? It's your guy, Grant, back here with another episode of the Groovy Files. I know it's kind of been a while since we've done an episode, but we're back, and I got my main man Dre with me here. Been a while since he been on, but I finally was able to get him for an episode. So,
You, what's happening?
all right. So today, the big thing I want to talk about is rap beef and Kendrick and Drake. They kind of been in a cold war for a little while now. But as Kendrick has said before, funny enough, Drake did not say his name, but Kendrick kind of calls himself Candyman. He said, "Hey, I'm shooting first. I'm coming at you. I'm making it direct as possible." So I'm not gonna lie, like the Future Metro album, fire. That's that's besides the point right here. But my big thing was I think what makes this so good or like got the whole rap world in fits right now is because this came by surprise and I was not expecting it. I was like, okay, he did this on a Metro beat. Like, okay, now
hmm
he means business. Like this, he said, "Fuck all the therapy. I'm tired of you niggas."
That's crazy. He hasn't. I feel like he hasn't rapped this aggressively in probably since Damn. Like I feel like. I mean, maybe you could say Family Ties was kind of talking this shit, but like this direct and it's like okay, he's clearly talking about somebody. I don't think he's done this probably since like Humble or Element. So this was a nice surprise to see him really getting in that aggressive rap bag. So I think that's another thing where it's like it's a surprise, but it's like we ain't heard Kendrick rap like this in years. So that was a huge surprise.
Yeah, it's kind of like it was like my surprise. The thing was is like you know how when artists be putting like, oh, I'm gonna drop an album, but I'm gonna hide the track list and shit, and
Uh-huh.
and niggas be like, you be like 21 Savage, Little Baby, blah blah blah.
Travis
Like,
Scott.
okay, that's cool, but it's like this album was like for Future and Metro, it felt like a legit surprise.
Mm,
We knew Playboy Cardi was gonna be the album anyway, because that was like one of the like they had already been talking about that, but like I wasn't expecting
uh-huh.
Ross on the album. I wasn't expecting
Right.
Weekend on there. There was some genuine surprises on here, so like I like that. But besides that point, this is the most indicting thing for a rap diss if you want to receive it in on a disc, you do not want that shit to bang in the club. You don't want this shit to be no radio hit, nothing like that.
hmm
Kendrick
And that's
doing this, I think it adds to his resume. I really think it does because people can say there's been a ton of talk about Kendrick, like, oh, he not battle tested, blah, 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 all this type of stuff. And I kind of disagree with that. But the main thing is that not only did he punch back, this should have hit. Like it took the disc like that. The numbers of the Metro Future album, it was like 150K when it first dropped. It
hmm
increased like another 100,000, 150,000 units because
hmm
like that was being streamed so much.
Yeah, it's
So
a
it's
moment.
like I have to give Kendrick credit on this one. He kind of like he knocked out two birds with one stone. It's like, oh, y'all say ain't got no club banger, bet.
hmm
Y'all say ain't got no diss, bet. So as a Kendrick fan, regardless, rap beef is exciting to me. Like, so I'm like, I just love it. I hope Drake respond back. I really, really do. Um, I don't know how that's gonna happen, or if it's gonna happen, or when it's gonna happen. But I would love him to respond back. He's on the highest stage in the world right now, and like you one of the top dogs in the game. Like we want to see it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like when you mentioned that the song is a hit, it's like you really can't ignore it now. Like if it was just like on an album's track and it was hard, it was like, all right, cool. But now this is the number one song in the world. And it's largely number one. I mean, the song is great, the beat is great. Metro did his thing, Future did his thing with the hook. It's a catchy song, and now it's like the number one song. It's basically what he did to Meek Mill, where with Back to Back, where like he made a banger out of it. Super catchy. It's an accessible song. He basically did that damn near times two, because I mean, like that is the number one song in the world. They say it might be number one 2 weeks in a row.
Like
And
this ain't no,
hmm
like this ain't no, and this is what I want the people to break down.
hmm
This is not me going against Drake. He
uh-huh.
is definitely battle tested, and he has shown he can get at somebody. But when we are breaking it down, I think I think with Drake's the beefs and the responses that he's given to people, I think an argument can be made outside of Meek Mill in
hmm
terms of popularity. He hasn't been really going at people that I think people cared about in the present tense for the most part. Like
mm
when he beefed with Common, like yeah,
hmm
he cooked that nigga. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's like, okay, do we really care about that? Like as a unit, like as a rap fan, like okay, I'm gonna always appreciate a good diss, but like from like a mainstream talking point, do we really care about that? Joe Budden,
It's
don't get me
hmm
wrong, he got at him too,
for
but it's
sure.
like, do we really care about that? With Meek Mill, it was like, okay, both of these niggas are popular. He got
But
at that. Even though Meek Mill War Pain was nice, like I can't cap. It was just the time he dropped it.
it came out too late.
Yeah,
It
it
was
came
too
out too
late.
late. Like it was like
hmm
it
Yeah.
was a really good diss, but it was like it came out too late. And by the time Back to Back was banging,
Yeah.
it's like
And
it was
yeah.
too
And
late.
even to piggyback on what you said, even with Pusha T, it's like Pusha T got at him. We all acknowledge that he lost, that Drake lost or whatever, but it's still Pusha T not big enough to really change the average Drake fan or how they feel about Drake or whatever. So it's like, but now with the Kendrick thing, it's like, okay, well, this is by far the biggest person that you've actively beefed with. Like Meek was a star, but Kendrick is a superstar.
Like we have
And
two.
Drake, hmm
They're like two. These are like two. Somebody, one of my favorite writers. He writes for Rolling Stone and everything like that. And one of the
hmm
articles he put out, it was like Drake and Kendrick represent two polar opposites of the hip hop spectrum. And it's like seeing them go head to head
hmm
it's basically like fire and ice. It's like
Yeah, I agree.
this will part of me thinks it's going to be a stalemate. Part of me thinks that, but part of me is like, hey, I think Drake gonna go after that nigga, but
hmm
I I just don't know when. It's like with Kendrick, I put it like this: you don't come out the gate like that if you're not prepared.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, okay, how active is Kendrick going to be? Because I feel like Drake is going to respond, and this is why I feel like Drake recognizes the moment. And if what we know about Drake for the past 15 years is Drake is going to use whatever the hot topic is, the hot artist, whatever it is, he's going to use that. He's going to find a way to use that to his advantage. Like for if an artist is hot, he's going to jump on their song or he's going to have them jump on his song in order to amplify his status. So I feel like him beefing with Kendrick Lamar, even if it's kind of the subliminal Drake way that he does it, he's gonna engage. I feel like the song is too big to ignore. He's gonna engage and
Like
make
you,
this a moment, put himself a part of the moment. I feel like he's gonna do that.
like you
I'd be
basically,
surprised if he didn't.
you basically got like a Uno reverse card pulled on you, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, two can play that game, nigga, and then now
Mm-hmm.
look it now was. you gotta answer back. The ball is in your court completely. So
And mhm.
and this is and this is a point that I've been wanting to make. I always thought the timetable for the disc was just so stupid in the first place.
For sure. Yeah,
It was
yeah,
just like, my only thing is this. I don't think anything is off limits in rap beef. That's my thing. It's just well, this is kind of there are no rules, but an unwritten rule is more like, hey, if you say something and you dropping names of family members and shit like that,
yeah. Uh-huh.
all bets are up. All bets are off. You have to know, hey, I crossed the line. Anything
Hmm.
can happen now. It might even be. I don't think you'll get there, but it might even be bigger than rap beef. Somebody niggas used to kill people over this.
For sure. That's why when Drake mentioned Pusha T's wife name, like by name, like that's when all the gloves came off. Like I feel like Story of Adidon wouldn't have been what it was if Drake didn't mention his wife's name. So once that happened, then it's like, and even Drake acknowledged that. He's like, he said, I mentioned his wife's name, and that's why he came the way he came. And that's like you said, if you take it that level, then somebody could take it a level even further.
All right, Trey, give me 1 second, man.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was like when he beefing with Meek and stuff. It's This is my big thing with the whole timetable thing. I don't care when you respond. I don't care. You could take a year, you could take 2 years, you could take 6 months, you could take 3 months, a week. I do not care.
Hmm.
My issue is this. When you respond, you don't have a room for error. Like, well, I'll put it like this. You you gotta be prepared to go back and forth. And that's my thing.
Hmm.
Like, that's why I was like, Kendrick not really the type of person. He not dumb, right? Like
Hmm.
Meek isn't like, for example, when people talk about Meek, don't get me wrong, I think there's some good disses in there, but I just think he was just going up against somebody that just had him.
He wasn't prepared.
I don't think Meek really thought it through. With
He
Kendrick,
wasn't fully
with,
prepared.
with Kendrick and like Pusha T, it's like
Oh, they ready. They already know.
these are I'm not saying Meek isn't a good MC. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like we
It's
are
level
talking
shit.
about uh, we are talking about somebody that is considered a generational pen.
Hmm.
Number one, and we're talking about one of the biggest stars in the game. We are talking about somebody in 2017. You could debate that he was bigger than Drake. Like, I think that was a genuine debate. I'm not saying
Hmm.
all the time. I think Drake was more popular a lot of other times, but genuine debate. So it's like y'all have to. I'm ready for the response, but
Hmm.
you gotta be prepared to go to the ends of the earth. I don't care how many disses you drop. If he drops some, if you got you empty the clip. Don't use all your bullets immediately, but like if you know this
Hmm.
is gonna be something where like you can't really end it immediately with one
Hmm.
diss, be prepared to go the distance. If that's my big thing. Like it's strategic warfare, and that's why I said with Kendrick responding first, it tells me a lot because he. And the other thing about this is like people are kind of deciding who needs to respond to Kendrick. It's like, oh, Drake need to respond to him. Cole need to respond to him. It needs to be both of them. Because Kendrick said, hey, y'all can stop with that whole Big Three nonsense. I'm better than
Mm-hmm.
y'all, straight up.
Pretty much.
And
Yep.
that's why like, I can't give Cole no points for this. I like Cole, but I can't get no points on this kumbaya stuff. I can't do it. I can't. Or somebody that has just talked about how on these podcasts and everything, they're talking about like rap is a competitive sport.
Mm-hmm.
You out here doing this. Even Drake
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't agree with that. Like him picking sides with Drake is the funniest thing about all of this. It's hilarious.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And that's the thing. Like I'm excited to see what Cole do too, because you know, when Kendrick was on hiatus, you was active, doing all these feature verses, and you was killing it. You was doing your thing, doing all that. But hey, you was doing all this hooping, but Jordan back on the court now. So it's time to your shoes laced up, you active. All right, well let's see. Let's
It's
see. You were doing all this when I was out. All
and
right, well, I'm on the court now. So what it is?
the funny thing is like now that you make the basketball comparison,
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of the bar that Kendrick said, and it was like Prince outlived Mike Jack, and he
Mm-hmm.
was like, I think that's one of the hardest bars that Kendrick has ever said. Not because of like I'm not trying to hype it up, but it's like the parallel
Mm-hmm.
is great. And when you
Yeah.
break down Kendrick's career and like his albums, he is not somebody I think that truly, even though like him being popular got a lot to do with it, I can't count. But when you think of Prince, you think of somebody like MJ. Yeah, you think of the best artist, one of the greatest artists ever, most popular artist ever, or to a lot of people, especially Black people, and things like that. But when you think of Prince, you will be surprised about how the amount of answers you get talking about, hey, I always want to push the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one thing that I don't think anybody can take away from Kendrick. And it's
Right.
something that's very hard to do, especially on a mainstream level.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when, and I'll put it like this. People talk about all the time, yeah, this guy did the same thing that Kendrick did, blah, 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 blah. Like insert underground rapper, insert rapper that's not as popular as Kendrick. And it's like, yeah, but at the same time, I don't think that's what Kendrick's calling card is. Nobody's saying that he reinvented something new.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is saying Kendrick is able to do these things, these conceptual albums,
Mm-hmm.
pair it with mainstream accessibility,
Mm-hmm.
pair that with his own little twist, everything like that, his artistry, and still sell commercially well and still be
Mm-hmm.
album year talks every single year he drops.
Mm-hmm.
Every single year. Like there's a yeah, it's impressive. Like I can't I'd even argue like when you think of mainstream rappers that have done that consistently, the two names I want you to guess the two names I'm thinking of. You think
Uh,
I'm thinking of maybe
I guess
I'm thinking of Ye,
I might say Kanye definitely got to be one of them,
and I'm thinking
and
of
Tyler.
Outkast.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you talking all time? Yeah, yeah. Outcast. Yeah.
Yeah, like just from an
Yeah.
all-time standpoint.
Oh, yeah,
Unless I'm
yeah. For
missing
sure.
somebody.
I mean, would you count Tyler?
Yes, but he's not really as popular, and he's not a. I consider the thing about Tyler is like for one part of his career, I consider him more niche. He didn't really start becoming a legit mainstream act until
Flower Boy.
recently.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. Yeah, that's facts.
But
But yeah, Outcast and Kanye. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
so it's like that I gotta applaud him for that. So
Hmm.
on to the next topic. And this one that kind of been sitting on my mind for a while. Uh, what is the most underrated rap diss of all time?
So I
Could
thought of
you,
one.
could you, I know people would say, I know a lot of people would say, I wouldn't call No Vaseline underrated, but like,
Heck no.
yeah, I wouldn't
Nah,
call it
that's
underrated at all, but like comparison, like that seems to be the most popular rebuttal to when people say, "Oh, Ether take over," blah 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 blah. Like
hit them up.
it's like no, it's no Vaseline. That's usually the rebuttal to it. I'm not saying like the first answer,
Yep,
but
I got you.
what would you say is the most underrated rap this all time?
My most underrated, I'm gonna say Real by Freddie Gibbs when he went at Jeezy. Like
That's
I think that was a great diss. I think like he really, and then it's like there's a personal level to it because he was signed to CTE, and so they had a legit relationship. So it wasn't just rap; it was personal, and like he really like dissected them, went through specific situations. His stuff with Ross, his stuff with Gucci, and I think that's one of the most underrated. I think they patched it up since, but at that time, he went at him,
he
and
hated he hated he hated that nigga.
for sure,
He hated that nigga. Like
100%.
him, the wildest thing on there is that he called him a puppet on there. Like you not calling him somebody a bitch ass nigga. You call somebody a puppet is crazy. I don't
Puppet.
care what anybody says. It was like
Hmm.
Freddie, your boy, like you bugging for that one. They come get
And
you, hey, like
and you gotta think, Jeezy was like, okay, that came out 2014, so just a year before Jeezy dropped TM 103, so Jeezy was still hot. Like it wasn't like Jeezy had fell off yet. Jeezy was still that nigga. And then Freddie Gibbs did that. It was like, hold on now. Obviously, Freddie's more underground, so it probably didn't get the recognition that it probably would have gotten if a superstar did it. But at the time, it was like, oh, this nigga really got at him. And then Jeezy didn't respond for like years, so it was like, hold on now. Started looking at Jeezy a little like,
real
oh, you
funny.
ain't gonna say nothing.
Like you look funny. That's one thing
Hmm.
and I and I think that's why I have to get. I'll put it like this.
Hmm.
That's why, and when I break it down, that's why we have to give the more the the smaller dog in the fight more credit when going to at these bigger rappers. Because if
Hmm.
you get somebody to respond, you gotta admit that shit bugging with you. Like it's like when with Pusha T and Drake, like Daytona sold like 77,000 first week,
Hmm.
but like the album was, I mean, like with the whole Kanye 7 weeks thing, 7 days shit, all that shit was going on in 2018.
Uh-huh.
There were good music was technically at the forefront of that summer, right? Um,
Yeah,
so Drake could have kind of just he really could have ignored him,
you really could have.
but it's like, hey, I ain't gonna say struck a nerve, but I think Drake thought, you know what, man, these niggas playing with my name.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this to bed real quick and just move on with my life.
But I could argue that I feel like that was more of a Kanye and Drake thing rather than a Push and Drake thing. Like, I mean, Push put himself in the middle of it, but I feel like Drake responded because it was more so Kanye. And Kanye is kind of and again, just I'll go back to where Drake is going to make a moment where it's like, yo, you doing this, like, oh, Kanye, you co-signing this, you producing this, all right, cool. Well, then you trying to make a moment, well, I'm gonna make a moment too. So that's why another reason why I feel like he's gonna respond to Kendrick because he understands the moment. I feel like even with the IG captions and being aggressive at a show, he understand what he doing. he understand the narrative. He understand I'm gonna make an aggressive caption. People gonna make a big deal out of it. He know that. He know it. Like from what we've seen his whole career, he is going to make himself part of the moment, whatever the moment is. So, but yeah, I agree. Like for him to respond in either way was that's a huge moment. That's when you really struck a nerve because it was like you could have just said, it's Pusha T, it's whatever, it's Kanye, I'm the biggest in the world, whatever. But nah, there was something about that Quentin Miller thing that just like, you know what, I gotta respond to this. So, but yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you.
So it's like, yeah, like I'm very interested to see where all this shit goes and everything like that. But
Hmm.
my final topic is the Future and Metro album, and let's getting to like, besides the this, right? Um, First question is, this shit sound like, I said this before. I said this on Twitter not too long
Hmm.
ago, like a couple of days ago, and I was like, this Future and Metro album sounds like a mix of like the most popular Future eras all into one. It's like
Hmm.
it sound like Pluto 3D. It sound like Beast Mode,
Yeah.
2015
Ain't
Future
I
ish.
say Dirty Sprite too.
Yeah, and then like kind of more Future's recent stuff as well.
Hmm.
And like one thing I noticed as well is like this is probably the most radio friendly Future has made
Mm.
honestly since 2017.
Mm.
The reason why I say that is because I love the Wizard. I think Wizard's incredible, but I don't think it
Hmm.
got like crazy radio play like that. I
Nah, I
think
didn't.
you could argue I never hurt you, or if that's the title correctly, I'm not sure. Uh
Uh-huh.
you could argue that one got a lot more radio play, like you got a decent amount of radio play because of Wait for You and everything like that with Tim's. But this is probably the most radio radio energizing Future album in a while. It's like
Probably
with
since
the
probably
Wizard, I
since
think is incredible. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like when you get that hip hop feeling, I ain't felt
hmm.
that from Future since 27. I really ain't felt that way from Future in a while. Like it's, for example, um outside of like that being a banger, uh Fried Shield Vibe is 2011 Future, man. Like
Facts.
to the
Yeah, that's
core. Like, but like
yeah.
with like a modern twist. Ain't No
Hmm.
Love. That's beast mode right there. Like
Beast mode, 100%.
that shit. I love that shit. Claustrophobic. That's such a that I'm playing the fuck out of that.
That might be my favorite song.
Yeah, I think that's mine too.
Hmm.
Magic Dawn one. It's a ton of it's just a ton
I'll
of
say
great, it's
I'll
a
say
great shit out there.
GTA sound like 56 Nights.
You can argue that, yeah.
Hmm.
It's just
Yeah,
it's a lot of songs on here that I feel like I
yeah, we
really
gotta
think this was on purpose because it's like it's a perfect return of form with
yeah.
Metro Boomin because this is their first collaboration in since around 2017. But
Hmm.
the the funny thing is that I think the second album is going to be harder.
Ooh. So what do you expect from the second album? Like what sound do you think it's gonna be? I see a lot of people saying they think it's gonna be more R&B, like more singing Future. Because he ain't really singing like this on here. He rapping his ass off on here.
Yeah, people think I see a lot of people think that too, but at the same time, I'm like, I can see that,
Uh-huh.
but in the same breath, I'm kind of like, I really, if you're in this bag right now,
Uh-huh.
I don't want you to switch it up. I want you to give me another of the same. I want you to give me another one.
I think you're gonna switch it up a little bit. I feel like the next one might be a little slower, might be a little more melodic, I guess. Cause but I'm ready for whatever. I mean, Metro, man, we got to give credit to Metro, man. I had my doubts. I was like, I don't know. Like, I think it's gonna be good, but I don't know how. Man, this is better than I could have even imagined. Like, Metro was in his bag, deep in his bag on this one. Like, he delivered for sure. And again, when you talk about all the different elements of Future, like Metro clearly understood that. So it is, some Dirty Sprite 2s, Beast Mode, 56 Nights, some Pluto. Like it's a lot, man. So yeah, man, great body of work. This is the most I've enjoyed a Future project probably since Hendrix, personally.
Yes, I agree.
Hmm.
But all in all, like man, like this feel like it's really gonna be a really, really good year for hip hop in terms of like the whole slate, not just like one lane of music. Like
Uh-huh.
last year, you had last year you had a lot of Boldy, you had V's kind of having his year that he had, and like that was like a consensus album of the year. And then
Uh-huh.
you had like Lucky, you had all these kind of like not these super popular acts, but at the same time, they aren't like you know who they are. Um,
Uh-huh.
the Playboy, the most interesting thing these past couple months has definitely been the Playboy Cardi transitioning into the big mainstream light. Not like
Mm.
you could argue that he was in it before, but it's kind of like you seen him collaborate. Like I would have never expected him to collaborate with Metro. Like
Hmm.
he's starting to kind of align himself differently. Like when you think of like Whole Lot of Red, Playboy Cardi, you don't. I don't think he was really. I don't think people in the like the big. I'd even say that his legacy since 2020 has skyrocketed. Because I already thought he was a SoundCloud legend, but like he Whole Lot of Red shifted the genre
Hmm.
for a lot of different ways. Not just
Hmm.
like sound wise, like that whole Rockstar is kind of I can't even say like Rockstar like it's production, but it's kind of like it has a very distinct stamp, and a lot of people started using it as soon as a Whole Lot of Red came out. With the
Uh-huh.
and then the shit I'm thinking of that specifically with the old with Whole Lot of Red kind of shifting the genre and also showing that mass popularity isn't necessarily lead to success. Like
Hmm.
Cardi was like you could probably consider him like a B list tier artist or like A list in terms of popularity.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like this. You could argue that Cardi is the most popping rapper right now. Not the most popular, but
Mm.
it's like the most buzz, like with the whole singles and shit like that, like the whole
Yeah.
dropping on YouTube and shit. Like
Hmm.
people were hungry for them snippets. Like people, when Cardi would drop the snippets, niggas was like, "Please, where the song at? Where the song every single day?" Like Cardi, one of the only artists I've seen like, "Hey, I'm finna go leak your shit if you don't drop this." Like as a thread.
Yeah, he's putting on a pretty good masterclass in like generating buzz and actually delivering on some of it. Cause I mean he could just be doing snippets, but he actually dropping songs, dropping videos, and no release date, no nothing. Is still is like he's feeding the streets, but still keeping them wanting for more. So I think he's doing an amazing job with marketing and releasing stuff right now. Like he's doing amazing.
But that's all I got for this episode. Appreciate
Mhm.
y'all for pulling up.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
Drake for pulling up. You
Mhm.
know, we got another. We probably gonna have another episode on the way soon. But
Mhm.
appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Be easy. We out.
Mhm. Peace.